I must assure you, the fight is existential. The struggle is real. And so we must continue to be strong. I want to say thank you to our people from Scotland, that's from Bui County, this time from the Southern Zone, for giving us that beautiful break. And so, my people, while some in our midst, especially those soulless people who have sold their souls to La République du Cameroon, those members of the CPDM crime syndicate who move around and call themselves our elite, who move around and call themselves our members of parliament, our representatives in the parliament where we are refused to be represented, who move around and call themselves senators, who move around and call themselves even mayors, who move around and call themselves ministers, secretaries general, or directors generals, or directors general, or directors, all claiming to be speaking for us in La République du Cameroon, while they have spent time trying to distort the history of the Southern Cameroons, where they have spent time trying to hide the facts or to downplay the facts or to make our people think that the people of Ambazonia, or the people of the Southern Cameroons, of the former UN Trust territory of British Southern Cameroons, are not a people, that we are not recognized under international law as a people, that we are not a separate entity with internationally recognized boundaries, that we did not get into a union with La République du Cameroon of two states equal in status, while they are excelling in trying to sell those lies. There are people in the international community who know the truth and who are not shy to say it. There are people in the international community who are aware of our status as slaves, as second-class citizens, who are being constantly dehumanized and who are being constantly tortured and looted by Yaoundé and Paris. Those people of the international scene, they are not shy in talking. You have watched countless tweets by Honorable Thibault Nagy, the former UN Undersecretary at the Department of State in charge of the Bureau of African Affairs, who is today a director back at the same US Department of State. Listen, besides the countless tweets he has sent out to remind our people about the fact that they know that the people of the Southern Cameroons are in their right to claim our sovereignty because we did not have to be with La République du Cameroon. He has sent out so many tweets. He has been attacked too many times by the same people who are supposed to be hailing him for sticking his head out to speak that truth. He's not alone. We have heard people in the British Parliament say these things. They are not alone. We have heard people in the US Congress, both senators and congressmen and women, say it. Not only so, we have heard scholars take time to explain this. Not only so, there are international instruments clearly demonstrating this. Yet, some people continue to want to tell our people we are fighting a war of blame. No, we are not. One of those persons who has never failed or who has never missed an opportunity to make it clear to the international scene what this whole thing in the Southern Cameroons is all about is Mo Ibrahim, the multi-billionaire in dollars. Oh yes, Mo Ibrahim had never been shy in saying this. We recall it is the same Mo Ibrahim who cornered Mr. Paul Biya in Paris, who humiliated him on the television set when Mr. Biya wanted to be reading from papers and told him, no, here you ad lib because it is a conversation. It is not speeches. You can't remove something from your pocket and start reading. And ask him questions. When he assuaged him with questions, Paul Biya on global television, motion images, said La République du Cameroon intended to assimilate the people of the southern Cameroons, to swallow us up. That was the mission. But unfortunately, the things have not worked. Despite that mea culpa, that tacit and public acceptance, some people still continue to try to spin it. From the lips of Mr. Paul Biya, he made this absolutely clear. But some people still tried. Now, this is Mo Ibrahim. I had looked for this interview a long time. Finally, I got just this piece. Mo Ibrahim reiterating to the world that the situation in the Cameroons, calls it the Cameroons, can only end in a two-state solution, where La République du Cameroon goes their way and will go our separate ways. Hear him.
To come back to the one state is impossible because it doesn't work. We've seen it in Yugoslavia, we see today in Cameroon. You can't put people who are so hostile to each other in one state. So the only solution is the two-state, even if it's not working, but at least you...
Did you hear that? You cannot put two peoples who are hostile to one another, who don't like themselves. In our case, the people of the southern Cameroon are not even hostile to La République du Cameroon. But La République du Cameroon, citizens and government, are hostile to us as long as we are not ready to accept the status of second-class citizens, to accept our status as slaves and live in slavery and servitude. That is what Mo Ibrahim says. The only solution is a two-state solution. He makes clear, you can't do that. You can't. You want to hear him again? Because it was so brief, listen again.
You can say it's containment for the West to have that solution, even if it doesn't work. To come back to the one state is impossible because it doesn't work. We've seen it in Yugoslavia, we see today in Cameroon. You can't put people who are so hostile to each other in one state. So the only solution is the two-state, even if it's not working, but at least you can say it's containment for the West to have that.
So did you hear that? You can't. You can't force us together. Like Mark Barra once said, we are so different from them, even in the way we do everything. He said even in the way that jiggy is made, we are so different from them. We are not the same. And listen, he says that people who are so hostile towards each other, and I repeat, the people of the southern Cameroons are a peace-loving people. Even their own brother, Victor Julius God, describes us in his books, despite the distortion he makes, as those nice little people. And who find ourselves with a hostile set of morons who believe that the only way we live with them is that we accept that we are second-class citizens, we accept that we are slaves, we accept that they can grind us in any way they want, we accept that they subjugate us to any form of maltreatment that takes away humanity completely from us. That's what it is. We can never live together. It will be impossible. That's what Mo Ibrahim says, that even if in two separate states, people find it difficult. Oh yes, because some people say, oh, you see South Sudan, they have learned a lesson, you see this other, get the heck out of here. So if it doesn't work, but at least the situation will be contained. Each group will be contained in their territory. The Southern Sudanese, even if they're having their challenges, it is among themselves, not against Sudan, not against Sudanese. The people of Eritrea, even if they're ever having their challenges, it's among themselves, not against the people of Ethiopia or receiving torture from the people of Ethiopia. The people of East Timor, even if they're having their challenges, not from Indonesia. That is what it is. Don't struggle to rewrite things. And if you are doubting what he says, if you are doubting Mo Ibrahim, I'd like you to now listen to Jean de Dieu Momo, who is a minister delegate at the Ministry of Justice of La République du Cameroon, what he describes as being the kind of treatment La République du Cameroon is giving our people. He tacitly is taking from where More Ibrahim ends to explain further and to demonstrate justification as to why we have to be more resolute in sending la République du Cameroun out of our territory. Listen to Jean de Dieu Momo.
Ce sont des otages. On a libéré une partie des otages. Il faut libérer les autres otages. Parce que il faut comprendre le problème anglophone. Il faut que quelqu'un réussisse à m'expliquer, à moi, avocat, juriste, qu'on arrête quelqu'un à Bamenda et que ce n'est pas la première fois. On va le mettre à Yaoundé, à Kondengui, pour le juger à Yaoundé. Vous l'avez arrêté au lieu de l'infraction. Il y a une justice à Bamenda. Il y a un tribunal de première, un tribunal de grande instance, un tribunal de la cour d'appel est là. On commence par là. Vous enlevez les gens là où ils ont commis l'infraction, vous les amenez. Je dis que ce sont des otages. Et ce n'est pas la première fois. Chacun se souvient.
Did you hear that? Jean de Dieu Momo makes clear that all our people who are in the dungeons of la République du Cameroon are hostages. Clear. He doesn't mince words. He says he is a jurist. And he wants somebody. That's Jean de Dieu Momo. He's talking here to Professor Elvis Ngole. He is talking here to Atanga Naponji. He is talking here to all those people, those talking here to Tabetando. He is talking here to Callistus Fulgentry, to Fu Jonathan Mujini. He is talking here to Belamoki Charles. He is talking here to all those people to come out and convince him and explain to him, Jean de Dieu Momo, who is a jurist, what name you call this kind of people. Who committed a crime? You say they have committed a crime. You are the one saying they have committed a crime. They committed this crime in Bamenda. In that Bamenda, because that's what the law says, that you will be judged in the area where a crime is reported to have been committed. The jurisdiction where the crime is committed will be the one that is competent. So if you take this people from there to any other jurisdiction, that jurisdiction will simply have to declare itself incompetent. But he says, convince him that people are supposed to have committed a crime in Bamenda. You arrest them in Bamenda. There is a court of first instance in Bamenda. There is a high court in Bamenda. There is an appeals court in Bamenda. There is even a military tribunal in Bamenda. But you take them from there and take them straight to Yaoundé, to Kondengi. So he says, these are hostages. That's what he says. He was talking here at the time that they had set Bala and Fontem free. We don't know what conditions were put in place, but that's what happened at the time. And that is how he was responding. He said they had released some of the hostages. They should free the rest of the hostages. Because these are people who are kidnapped. Kidnapped. You want him to continue? You hear him further and he says, this is not the first time. That it has happened over and over the years. And so therefore he says, so to understand, according to what is the Anglophone problem, that is what it is. Listen again.
Il y a quelque temps, on avait arrêté les Sama Francis et un autre groupe dans les années 90 et on les avait toujours amenés à Yaoundé. Donc, Yaoundé, ce sont des otages. On a libéré.
So he said it's not the first time. He said in the early 90s, they arrested the barrister Sam of blessed memory and other people and carted them to Yaoundé. Do you know how many times Pang Fongalamfo has been arrested in the southern Cameroon on grounds of SCNC activities and carted to Yaoundé? So many of them. Some even died in the Kondengi prisons. Jean de Dieu Momo, who is a minister delegate at the Ministry of Justice, or to the Minister of Justice, keeper of the seals of la République du Cameroun, is the one speaking here. And says, as a jurist, convince me that these people are not hostages. So all our people, the Sisi Kouayou Tabes, the Pan Fongalamfo, the Patasang Wilfred, Barrister Eyambe, Shufai Bless Che Fidelis, all of these people, Kimbe, and all of them, all of these people, all of them, Mancho Bibixi, all of this, there are many of them, I can't call all the names because there are just too many of them. They are all hostages. That is why we have to keep fighting and fighting and fighting until we are able to clear the last vestiges of La République du Cameroon's colonial occupation from our territory. This is the truth, the basic truth. I'm not the one saying it. You just listen there to Mo Ibrahim. This is an international figure. And I talked to you about Mo Ibrahim's experience. He faced Paul Biya directly in France, in Paris, and got Paul Biya to do a mea culpa, to confess publicly before the global community that they are committing a crime of genocide on the people of the southern Cameroons because they want to force us to become citizens of La République du Cameroon and by extension a French territory overseas. He confessed. And now you hear him again make clear that in this matter, it is a two-state solution. No magic. That's the only way it has to be solved. It has to be solved. This is an assignment for you. It's an assignment for me. And then you hear Jean de Momo make clear, without mincing words, what is happening to the people of the southern Cameroons. We are an occupied people. We are an occupied people. So when they come to the occupied territories, you cause something, they capture you, they tell you to go and judge you in their courts. In their courts. This is what it is. And they come and tell you about something called one and indivisible. They have not made a single arrest in Mayo. Don't forget, in Mayo, where the people have killed now over 10 citizens, over 10 people from other parts of La République du Cameroon, and certainly some from the southern Cameroons. No arrest has been made. There is no ongoing investigation. Even CRTV, the state-run television or media house, is not saying anything. Cameroon Tribune has not published. Not a single newspaper in La République du Cameroon has published anything yet. But when they will come to publish, watch what they will write. My people of Ambazonia, we have to be strong. We don't have to relent in this liberation movement. This is an existential fight, and we must fight. We must fight for our own very existence. That is why I continue to call on you, fund this liberation movement. I see somebody asking to play Jean de Momo again, except hear it again.
Une partie des otages. Il faut libérer les autres otages. Parce que il faut comprendre le problème anglophone. Il faut que quelqu'un réussisse à m'expliquer, à moi, avocat, juriste, qu'on arrête quelqu'un à Bamenda et que ce n'est pas la première fois. On va le mettre à Yaoundé, à Kondengui, pour le juger à Yaoundé. Vous l'avez arrêté au lieu de l'infraction. Il y a une justice à Bamenda. Il y a un tribunal de première, un tribunal de grande instance, un tribunal, la cour d'appel est là. On commence par là. Vous enlevez les gens là où ils ont commis l'infraction, vous les amenez. Je dis que ce sont des otages. Et ce n'est pas la première fois. Chacun se souvient, il y a quelque temps, on avait arrêté les Sama Francis et un autre groupe dans les années 90 et on les avait toujours amenés à Yaoundé. Donc, Yaoundé, ce sont des otages. On a libéré une partie des otages. Il faut libérer les autres otages. Parce que il faut comprendre le problème.
So you have heard it all. He just repeated what I explained. I won't go there. And he also asked that he wanted to hear more Ibrahim again. Just a few seconds. Let's close with it.
Solution, even if it doesn't work. To come back to the one state is impossible because it doesn't work. We've seen it in Yugoslavia, we see today in Cameroon. You can't put people who are so hostile to each other in one state. So the only solution is the two-state, even if it's not working, but at least you can say it's containment for the West to have that solution.
So that is it. Nothing more, nothing less. A two-state solution. That's all. So the only place where this train will stop at, the train of this liberation movement, the only place it stops at is at Freedom Land. No other way. They know it on the international community that that is the only solution. The onus is on us to work towards it. And this will involve work for you and for me. I'm doing my part. Do your own until we get there. I want to thank each and every one of you who spent time to be up this late to watch this show. I know it's really not easy. We started at 1, almost 1 a.m. Amber time. Yeah, I know it was pretty late. Started almost 1 a.m. Amber time. So I don't know. It should be about getting to to 3 a.m. But I'm delighted that you found time to stay up and be part of this broadcast. Share the link as much as you can so that as many people as possible should be able to get this message. Until we meet again back here, it's ciao. Enjoy the rest of your time. Thank you for your kind